We are live.
We are live indeed. I am your host for the evening, Big Papa Puff, the Puffster himself, and I'm here with none other than the Mercenary, Garrison Creed. Garrison, you had a match tonight, a rather unique match, a respect match. Now, I can't say you lost because, in a way, I feel like the win was. It was a dastardly, dreadful way to do it because when you respect someone, you want to fight them to their best. You don't want to hang them outside the ring.
No. And in respects to this match, this I Respect match, which we've built up now to over a year, Moses Mayhem was my former tag team partner. He chose me to be his tag team partner while I was the Midwest All-Star Heavyweight Champion. His priorities trumped my priorities, and he kept pressing that upon myself until I eventually lost my title. I was ticked, so I decided to bend a steel chair over his back for it.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's a title. He costed you your title.
So not only on top of that, he still pressed for us to get the tag team titles, which, me being me, I have to be in there. I have to get my licks in. And I was still in the fight for getting my title back. I did 3 matches in one night, 2 for that tag team titles, and then 1 for my world heavyweight title back. I did not get that title back, and then immediately had that 3rd match for the tag team titles, and we lost because I was not able to be a part of that match. So Moses Mayhem blamed me for that, and I believe wrongfully so. So I had to do it. I had to dump the empty weight. That led up to this match tonight, where even though we're both the biggest, baddest in Midwest All-Star Wrestling, he doesn't have what it takes. He can't cut it. He does not have that killer instinct. So I had no respect for him. Tonight, he dragged it out of me to say, I respect you. Because why? I pushed him to that dark side to be able to do it. He did not have that killer instinct a year ago going after those tag team titles. Tonight, and it was probably the only time, the first time, and possibly will never happen again, that he will reach down in the depths of his heart and do something so cruel to pull out a win.
Do you think because of that, the respect is momentary, or do you think this is a permanent respect that he was able to get down that deep?
Well, I don't know. We'll just have to see if he can hold on to that killer instinct and see what... if that's going to get him any championship gold or anywhere further in this business. As for me, everybody knows that Garrison Creed's got that killer instinct, and championship gold will be around my waist very shortly.
I have to absolutely agree with that. When I say the ring tonight, the first thing that came to mind was a razor blade. Sharp, precise, knows exactly what it's supposed to do and how to do it. And when in this business, it's a cutthroat business.
It is.
And if you're as sharp as a razor, that's going to get you places.
Yes, it is.
So, having that ruthlessness is something that you absolutely have to have in this business because it is a cutthroat business.
And my years of military training and combat operations around the world has developed that razor blade very, very sharp. I know exactly where to go. I am highly strategic. I know every tactical maneuver there is to do, and that's how I strike. Tonight was just a hiccup. It happens. Moses Mayhem got one up on me. He just proved to me that yes, he is capable of going to that dark place to be able to get the gold done. If he can do it again, hey, that's great for him. Great things will happen. If not, he's just going to go right back into the back of the line before he got involved with Garrison Creed.
So it seems like Moses Mayhem has won this battle, but has definitely not won the war. But speaking of war, speaking of military, do you want to tell us a little bit more about your military background?
Sure. I was in the Army, infantry. Not any specialized units per se. I spent most of my time deployed in Iraq, but I did work very closely with Army Rangers, Special Forces a couple of times, Navy SEALs, a lot of nighttime operations. I was there from over in Iraq from 2004 to 2005, and then again 2006 and all of 2007. So I got more than 29 months in combat.
Wow. Long time to be overseas. What made you want to get into wrestling after that?
Oh, I wanted to get into wrestling even before that. Like growing on up, it was the heat of the Monday Night Wars, and I wasn't really a WWE guy per se. I mean, I liked what they had, but I was more a WCW guy, and it wasn't for the Hulk Hogan's or the Ric Flairs or Macho Man or Randy Savages. No, I was more the Chris Jerichos, the Dean Malenkos, Psychosis, Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera. The majority of guys who once they did, the guys that did jump on over to the WWE became world champions. So WCW had some golden things going on. So these great tacticians, and they came on over, they can show that a small guy can do it. So you may see me, get in the ring. I have this larger-than-life physique, but I don't see myself as a very large guy. I maneuver myself like a Chris Jericho or, in some cases, a Juventud Guerrero would, with a little bit more high risk. But again, throwing my military precision in there, I'm very precise. I also have an extensive martial arts background, so I throw in a bunch of kicks and some back fists and stuff like that. So you'll see that on there too.
And coming from someone who has a boxing and MMA background, that is something that is really important that can really come to your aid in a fight, is knowing, is really getting to know the tells that you have when you're going for a fight, if you're going for a punch, if you're going for a kick, all those different things.
It's the body language.
Absolutely. And when you have that body language, it helps with your reflexes.
Yeah.
A lot, and your reaction times.
And not just in the striking, but also the blocking.
Absolutely.
And in today's modern professional wrestling, I mean, you didn't have so much. I mean, you had your haymakers, you had your heavy hitters back in the day, but today there's such a focus on the strikes, the back elbows, the backhands, combination kicks. You have a much more mixed background when it comes to professional wrestling involved, and throw that in there. It is a lot like MMA. You got a lot of it getting mixed in there, especially with the popularity of it coming on, and that's going to naturally gravitate back over into this combat sport.
Well, absolutely. And another thing with it is it really helps to, especially if you have that in the ring, when you know how to do it in the octagon. When you know how to perform it and you know all the little individual angles and arm movements and speed that you need to have, being able to sell that comes so much easier.
And now, let's combine that. Let's go another step further. We're comparing combat sports, professional wrestling, MMA, things that go in the octagon. They know that there's an end to that fight. There's going to be a bell that goes ding right at the end of it. Now let's put you in the middle of a combat zone where you have your bullets flying and explosions going off and vehicles going this and that way. There is no ding at the end of the fight. There is no end round one. It's you give all or you get all. It's done and that's the killer instinct that I was talking about, and that's the killer instinct that I tell you that Garrison Creed has when it comes into this combat sport. I go on in there. I'm not fighting to the end of a bell just to win. I'm fighting to go through the person so I can get to my next objective.
Strong words. Well, do you have any other objectives coming up anytime soon?
Anytime soon? Any and all takers. This soldier operates locations worldwide. If it's across the United States, I got most of Canada down. I'm in talks with somebody in England. I'd love to go over to Japan. Hell, Australia, India. Bring it. I will show up.
I have to ask the question, showing up, would you rather show up WWE or the hot ticket item right now, AEW?
Put a contract in front of me. It doesn't matter as long as I'm getting some sort of compensation for my services. When my music hits and Garrison Creed steps out that curtain, you damn well know he just showed up.
Just like a true mercenary, you're there on a mission. You're there for the job at hand. Any other matches you'll be having in the Midwest here?
I'm debuting for EWI over in North Dakota tomorrow. Next Saturday, I will be in Belgium, Wisconsin for Wisconsin Professional Wrestling. Card hasn't been released yet, so I don't know who's in my crosshairs. And then the following week, if my talks go through, I will be debuting in Tennessee and Georgia again. Somebody's going in these crosshairs. Something's going to happen. People are going to know that the Mercenary showed up.
You know, the biggest thing with having that military background is it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from, what crosshairs you may have. You're messing with the mercenary.
I bring it.
He's always prepared, and he will finish his mission. I have been your host of the evening, Big Papa Puff, with none other than the Mercenary, Garrison Creed. Anything you'd like to say before we sign off?
Now you got pretty well covered. Thank you very much for having me on.
Well, we'll be back again very soon. Once again, thank you so much for watching. See you again very soon. Same Puff time, same Puff channel. Until next time, good night.